It's finally over. Xbox has acquired Activision Blizzard King. They are now officially first party Xbox studios, bringing over a massive amount of IPs and a massive amount of games. This is something that we've been talking about here on this channel for the last 2 years, following the developments going through the entire process from it being blocked by the CMA to the appeals process to the court case via the FTC. And then this morning we wake up, Xbox has closed the deal, the CMA have approved the deal, and now we can all celebrate and see what Xbox is going to be doing next with all of these games, how they're going to handle them, which ones are coming to Game Pass, when they're coming to Game Pass, all of those types of things. So this will be a longer video because there are a lot of things to go through and read here. I want to read through the articles announcing that this deal is now official. I want to see the reactions on X from the executives like Sarah Bond, Phil Spencer, and Lulu Chang Meserve. And we'll just talk about everything that occurred this morning because this is going to be something we're going to be continuously seeing more information come out as to how everything is going to be handled. But here is the Xbox Wire post that officially announced this from Xbox, saying, welcoming the legendary teams at Activision Blizzard King to Team Xbox. And we'll go through it. And we have gives us some information about Game Pass and all that type of stuff in this article. It says, we love gaming, we play games, create games, and know firsthand how much gaming means to all of us as individuals and collectively as a community. And today we officially welcome Activision Blizzard and their teams to Xbox. They are the publishers of some of the most played and most beloved franchises in gaming history across console, PC, and mobile, from Pitfall to Call of Duty, World of Warcraft to Overwatch, Candy Crush Saga, Farm Hero Saga. Their studios have pushed the boundaries of gaming for players around the world. And obviously, on that list of games, there are some major ones that people are going to be keeping their eyes on. Call of Duty is the biggest franchise that they do have. The question is, when are these games coming over to Xbox Game Pass? Are they going to be starting off with the older games first because they've revitalized these servers on the Xbox platform and then bringing over the new one next year? Or are we going to see Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 drop onto Xbox Game Pass sometime over the next couple of months? Then there's a game like World of Warcraft, which I would absolutely love to see them bring it onto Game Pass and bring a console version of this game and try to make this the MMO it once was, where everybody was jumping in and playing. Overwatch is something that we will most likely also see on Game Pass and all that type of stuff. I mean, it's already a huge game on the consoles. They say, I have long admired the work of Activision Blizzard and King and the impact they've had on gaming, entertainment, and pop culture, whether it was late nights spent playing Diablo 4 campaign with friends from start to finish, gathering the entire family in the rec room for our weekly Guitar Hero night. And Guitar Hero is a game that was name dropped by Bobby Kotick that potentially they may revitalize, and I would love to see them get some more Guitar Heroes out and kind of make that rhythm genre with those instruments popular again, because that was a very cool time in gaming when we were seeing people play through that game and how fast people could play through them, getting perfect scores. And it was just awesome to see. They say here, or going on epic streaks at Candy Crush, some of my most memorable gaming moments came from experiences their studios have created. It is incredible to welcome such legendary teams to Xbox. As one team will learn, innovate, and continue to deliver on our promise to bring the joy and community of gaming to more people. We'll do this in a culture that strives to empower everyone to do their best work, where all people are welcome and is centered on our ongoing commitment of gaming for everyone. We are intentional about inclusion in everything we do at Xbox, from our team to products we make and the stories we tell to the way our players interact and engage as a wider gaming community. So one of the things that I will be interested in seeing going forward is how these studios will be interacting, and this will be something very similar to how Xbox talks about Bethesda interacting with the Xbox studios. Are they going to bring over developers from other first party studios that Xbox currently has to help work on these Activision Blizzard games, free up some resources so maybe there will be side creative teams that can go out and make smaller passion projects, something that we have seen come out of Bethesda since they have been at Xbox. So I hope that is something that happens, because as of right now, it essentially seems like Activision is just the Call of Duty company, but I would love to see their teams and their studios go out and make some new stuff on top of bringing Call of Duty. And I would also like them to see them spread out Call of Duty. Maybe it's not a yearly release anymore. Maybe it is every 2 or 3 years. And in between that, they are bringing us new products. So that'll be very, very cool to see. Now, this article continues on here and says, together we'll create new worlds and stories, bring your favorite games to more places so more players can join in. And we'll engage with and delight players in new, innovative ways in the places they love to play, including mobile, cloud streaming, and more. I mean, that is obviously the wider strategy of Xbox, getting these games into the hands of everybody, no matter what they're on. I think mobile is, as they've said multiple times, their major focus here. They say players have always been at the center of everything we do. And as we grow, we'll continue to keep players at the heart of it all. We'll continue to listen to your feedback, build a community where you can be yourself, where developers can do their best and work and continue to make really fun games. As promised, we will continue to make more games available in more places. And that begins now by enabling cloud streaming providers and players to stream Activision Blizzard games in the European Economic Area, a commitment made to the European Commission. And this is where this whole cloud streaming thing comes in, the whole deal with Ubisoft, where now Activision Blizzard games will be available, I would say, on the majority of these cloud streaming services, and Ubisoft is going to be able to distribute those games. And that was the main catalyst for the CMA now approving this deal to go forward. They continue here and say, today we start work to bring beloved Activision, Blizzard, and King franchises to Game Pass and other platforms. So that's a key thing. They are working now. We don't know when that is going to be coming, but they do say they will share more about that and when you can expect to play them in the coming months. So we're probably not getting a major drop today. We're probably not getting a major drop next week into Xbox Game Pass, but over the next month or so, next couple of months, they will do similar things, I believe, as they did with Bethesda, where they'll come out with just a massive drop of older titles into Game Pass, and then we will wait and see what they do with the newer titles. But anything new coming up next year, the year after, and beyond, you can pretty much guarantee they were going to be day one Xbox Game Pass games, which is just insane to think about as we've sat through 2023 on the Xbox platform. And I think nobody really can argue against the fact that this has been a great year for Xbox, and we've seen these acquisitions come to fruition with the Bethesda games dropping, with Starfield dropping into Game Pass, with Hi-Fi Rush, even with Redfall that everybody likes to hate on, which, I mean, the original release on console wasn't good, but now we've seen this update and really fixed a lot of things, but that was still a day one game, which really takes away that hit from people who maybe would have gone out and spend the full $70 for a game that would release in the way that it did release. And then we're also obviously seeing Forza Motorsport just come out. So it's been a phenomenal year for Xbox, and it's going to get better. They're going to have so many first party games releasing every single year. They're going to be able to sit back, look at the schedule of releases, and then just kind of spread them out so that Game Pass always has that drip of great content for people to go and play. And as gamers, I don't know, I can't think of a better time that in this industry right now, in terms of the access and the amount of content that you have. It is literally never ending, and it's cheaper than it's ever been because of these services like Xbox Game Pass. And I think that is definitely a major positive. They say here, for the millions of fans who love Activision, Blizzard, and King games, we want you to know that today is a good day to play. You are the heart and soul of these franchises, and we are honored to have you as a part of our community. Whether you play on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, or mobile, you are welcome here. They name drop PlayStation, they name drop Nintendo here. And they say, and will remain welcome even if Xbox isn't where you play your favorite franchise, because that when everyone plays, we all win. We believe our news today will unlock a world of possibilities for more ways to play. Thank you for the ongoing support. We have so much more to come in the months ahead. I'm excited for the future and cannot wait to share it with you. So that was the news release and the ending there, where they're mentioning all of the competing platforms with Xbox, or with plays. Xbox is the platform with PlayStation and Nintendo. At the end of the day, no matter where you sit on the console war side of things, this is a good day for everybody because it is going to open up access to these games. And if this was an acquisition by, let's say, PlayStation, we can pretty much make it a sure bet that they would not be wanting to open up access to more people, and they'd be locking content away rather than opening up content. And we've seen that play out in Call of Duty over the last couple of years, where Call of Duty content has been locked behind the PlayStation platform, and not everybody has had access to it, and that is going to go away. One of the best things for Call of Duty with this acquisition is no more exclusive content, no more exclusive maps. Everybody's going to be on the same playing field, and I think that overall is a great thing for the franchise and a great thing for gamers. So there's a lot of other stuff to get into here. Bobby Kotick also sent out an email, and one of the things that people were always asking about is what is Bobby Kotick? How is he going to play into Xbox? Is he going to stay on? Is he going to be part of Xbox? A lot of people want him kicked out, obviously, and we have total clarification here as to what is going on. This is his full email to all ABK employees. This team today marks a milestone in our company's celebrated history. Combining with Microsoft will bring new resources and new opportunities to our extraordinary teams worldwide. It will also enable us to deliver more fun, more joy, and more connection to more players than ever before. This moment is possible because of your efforts over 4 decades to innovate, inspire, and achieve. When Brian Kelly and I began this journey in 1991, we intended to build a company that would have a great impact and lasting value. Your tireless work and unwavering commitment to excellence enabled us to do just that. In the 1980s, we pioneered independent third-party game development with Pitfall, River Raid, and Kaboom. 1990s, we united with the world with online multiplayer games like MechWarrior, Warcraft, and StarCraft. I would love to see them bring back StarCraft in a big way. I'm really hoping that's one of those games that does get that rejuvenation now that it is a part of Xbox. Continues here and says, in the 2000s, we introduced Call of Duty, which became one of the most successful entertainment franchises in history. We also introduced Guitar Hero and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, which entered popular culture in ways few video games ever have. In the 2010s, we debuted Candy Crush Saga, which to date has been downloaded more than 5 billion times. It contributed to our total worldwide players being 50% female. Your dedication is what makes it possible for us to continually push envelopes, break records, and delay players amid the uncertainty of the last 21 months. We've remained focused, as always, on serving our players and supporting each other. Now, here is where we get the answer about Bobby Kotick. He says, I have long said that I am fully committed to helping with the transition. Phil has asked me to stay on as CEO of ABK, reporting to him, and we have agreed that I will do that through the end of 2023. We both look forward to working together on a smooth integration for our teams and players. Brian and I couldn't be more excited for the next chapter for ABK. We now join one of the most successful global companies poised for unprecedented opportunities to connect the world through our games. As a part of Microsoft, we will be even better together. So there it is. Bobby Kotick will be staying on with Xbox until the end of 2023, which is not a surprise whatsoever. I know a lot of people wanted him to be kicked out right away. That just is unrealistic, right? They need him there for a couple of months to help with transitions of all of these Activision studios to become a part of Xbox. There's so much knowledge and information that Bobby Kotick is going to be able to provide to Xbox to make sure that the transition is smooth. And then you can expect him to be out from Xbox in 2024. So that's what's happening with him. He'll be gone at the end of this year, and then it'll be a brand new chapter for everyone at Activision Blizzard being a part of the Xbox family. So that was Bobby Kotick's email. And then there is also Activision Blizzard, who put out their own press release on their website. And they go on here, they talk about the games like Candy Crush, Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, Overwatch, and Warcraft. All of these games are all going to be a part of the Xbox team and Xbox first party. They say, today we begin a new chapter as we officially become a part of Microsoft's family, uniting with the amazing Xbox team and co-creating the future of gaming together. And then it continues on here talking about the early days, similar to what Bobby Kotick said in his email. And then they go on and just thank everybody for the work that they've done and for playing the game. So a huge day here, as you can see. All of these characters is crazy to think about. Like, I don't think anybody would have ever seen this coming, but all of these characters being a part of Xbox's first party, especially a character like Crash Bandicoot, which in my opinion was synonymous with PlayStation for the longest time. And now it's going to be an Xbox mascot. They can utilize Crash for so many different things. And I think they absolutely should going forward. So there was that from ABK. And when it comes to the CMA, I have a bunch of tabs open here, so it may not be in the exact order, but I just want to go through a lot of the things that was talked about today as this got announced. Well, just listen here. Now, jumping over to the CMA and approving this deal, you have Sarah Cardell. As we know, the whole CMA thing with the UK was clearly just for political grandstanding and wanting to show that they were able to create these concessions for Xbox. And she kind of essentially talks about
And that's
going
because
through the deal
Microsoft have
and what's going on here
Congratulations to
and
you and
approving
to your
it.
team for
Let's
finally
listen to
getting
it.
this across the finish line. What struck out to me in your announcement this morning is that you still had limited residual concerns around pieces of the deal. Can you elaborate on that?
So in our previous consultation that we put out a couple of weeks ago, we made clear that the deal had resolved the substantial concerns that we had previously. And that's because Microsoft have brought forward this fundamental concession, this fundamental restructure of the deal, which now puts all of the cloud streaming rights in relation to Activision's games content, all of the games that are available now, but also any content that's created over the next 15 years. And those rights are put in the hands of Ubisoft, an independent competitor. And that breaks the stranglehold that we were concerned Microsoft would have over this important cloud gaming sector as it develops and emerges. Now, we had some residual concerns at the time just to make sure that the terms of that arrangement with Ubisoft were absolutely watertight. We had a short consultation, and as a result of that, we've satisfied ourselves that those concerns are resolved, and therefore this new restructured deal is clear to proceed today.
So there you have it. She talks about the concerns with cloud and why they still had residual concerns to make sure that they go through with their whole deal with Ubisoft and everything. But I mean, from the very beginning of this entire process, Xbox has been very transparent as to what they cared about, which was mobile. And they had no issues giving off these streaming rights to Ubisoft. They had no issues offering all of these smaller streaming services access to the Activision Blizzard catalog, and no issues making sure that PlayStation still had access to Call of Duty. So this entire thing from the beginning with Call of Duty and this streaming was just a pushback by the CMA because they wanted some sort of major concession that they could put on their resume and say, hey, look, we made this billion-dollar corporation, Microsoft, make these concessions. Look how good we are. And I mean, they got what they wanted. I mean, essentially, they did make Xbox have a huge concession, which was selling these streaming rights to Ubisoft. At the end of the day, for consumers, I think this will end up making no difference if you're on Xbox, and it will just be giving people more access. But I think these games would have been on these streaming services anyways. And here is Ubisoft's announcement about Ubisoft Plus, because Activision Blizzard games are on Ubisoft Plus. They're already ready for this rollout. And this is, they have a huge Q&A here about basically where you can access these games and what you should be expecting. And they talk about why they decided to take on the streaming rights. They say, why did Ubisoft decide to take on the streaming rights of Activision Blizzard's games? What does the deal mean for Ubisoft and Ubisoft Plus subscription? So this could be interesting if you're somebody who has this subscription. It says, taking on these rights allows Ubisoft to bring Activision Blizzard games like Call of Duty to Ubisoft Plus, as well as license the streaming access of these games to cloud gaming companies, service providers, and console makers, meaning we're helping expand access for more players across these streaming services. So what is super interesting here out of all of this is that you could just sign up if you're a Ubisoft fan, right? You just want to play all the Ubisoft games and maybe want to play some Call of Duty. You can actually go ahead and sign up to Ubisoft Plus and not even be signed up to Xbox Game Pass, and you're going to get these games in the Ubisoft Plus subscription, which is also available on the Xbox platform. So it's giving people more options onto what subscriptions they want to use depending on the games that they really do enjoy playing. They say, we've always been a technologically forward-looking company, and we believe that we can create differentiation and competitive advantage for our products through technology in addition to the games themselves. So we've been active in the streaming space for a long time, and that's one of the reasons Microsoft came to us. We were the first studio that Google worked with before Stadia, the first company that Amazon worked with for Luna, and we've been partners with NVIDIA GeForce now for years. To Microsoft, it made sense that if somebody was going to be familiar with the space and know what the value would be for streaming, it would be us. And we saw the value as well. As there was a bit of discussion of what rights would be available, and once that was clear, it was easy to see how that would allow us to add Activision Blizzard games to Ubisoft Plus and bring even more value to our offerings. It's also content that might be new or different to our player base, so allows a broader range of choice. We've already We're already working with partners around the world to distribute Ubisoft Plus and our slate of games. So adding Activision Blizzard games to that is easier than starting from scratch somewhere and building a completely new service. So that's, I think, it's just more choice at the end of the day. If you just want to play Ubisoft games, and you're going to get access to Activision Blizzard games as well. Now, the question here is content like DLC, because I believe in Ubisoft Plus, with their first party games, you actually get like the premium editions, you get the DLC, you get all of this extra stuff that does come with it. But we'll see here. They say, which games are included with the deal? Does it include other content like DLC? It says the deal includes all the Activision Blizzard games that are being distributed today and includes all the games that Activision Blizzard will release over the next 15 years. That includes the Call of Duty franchise and a whole lot more. Yes, it does include all DLC, including in-game content and downloadable DLC packs, expansions, and add-ons, which I think that's new. I didn't know if that was something that was included in this deal, but it is. So DLC, downloadable packs, expansions, and add-ons will now be a part of Ubisoft Plus as well. And they go on, they ask some more stuff here about the deal, but I think that is the main thing to be aware of here if you are wondering what is going on with Ubisoft distributing these games, as well as how they're going to be utilizing their own platform. So Activision Blizzard games are in Ubisoft Plus, and the DLC content will be in that service as well. I think that will be very enticing for a lot of people if they are just solely interested in what the Ubisoft catalog has to offer. Now they're getting a bunch of extra stuff. I wonder if at all this will change going forward in the future, if they will be trying to get even more content into Ubisoft Plus that isn't from their first party. So Ubisoft is going to be a major player here. They won majorly when it comes to Xbox acquiring Activision Blizzard. Now let's jump over here to some of the reactions. You got Lulu Cheng Mezerve. She says, to our amazing gaming community, thank you. You make this work so meaningful and fun. Serving you is an honor. To our brilliant ABK team, congrats. You've built an iconic company, and I'm proud to work with you. To our new Xbox fan, we're stoked to join you. Let's do this. And there was an awesome trailer, very similar to what Xbox did with Bethesda. I thought they've done a great job with these trailers and just kind of announcing these acquisitions. Go check it out. It's a new video here featuring Xbox IPs, all of their first party current stuff, and then all of the Activision Blizzard stuff that is coming in. It's really well done what they did with getting clips from Warcraft talking about home, and obviously they're referring to Xbox. Really, really cool video. So go check that one out. And when it comes to the amount of games, it is actually, it's pretty crazy. There is a visual image here that I'm trying to pull up. Here it is. This was created by Clobro. So well done on this roadmap, or this first party studios organization. It's insane. It's insane the amount of franchises, the amount of studios that Xbox now has under their wing. Phil Spencer has come in here, revitalized Xbox, of course. I would say completely saved it, turned it around. And Game Pass is easily going to be the best subscription service. I don't know how others are going to be able to compete on the same level, especially when you have PlayStation out there that is not willing to put their first party content. They are going to have to put their first party content into PlayStation Plus if they want any chance, in my opinion, of competing with Xbox Game Pass. When we're looking at this, you look at Xbox Game Studios, we know what's there. You look at Bethesda, we know what's there. Now you look here, Activision, Blizzard, and King added, and it is just crazy. An estimated 8,500 staff plus, 8,500 plus in terms of staff added from Activision, 6,000 added from Blizzard, and 2,500 from King. This is going to be, I think, the biggest challenge here that Xbox has. It's how they're going to be able to manage all these studios and manage all these staff and make sure content that is released goes through good quality assurance and is at high quality. And there is not another Redfall on the console release where obviously the game wasn't ready and it got through all the testing. That is going to be the major challenge here for Phil Spencer and for his team here. And this is where we're going to see how good of an executive he is going to have to be going forward. And whoever takes over after Phil Spencer, they're going to have so much to manage on their hands. But it's just crazy because it is non-stop stop content that is going to be delivered into the Xbox ecosystem. First party stuff going into Game Pass is going to be just continuously dripped to us to feed that dopamine of, oh wow, new first party game day one coming into the service, that excitement, and they're going to be able to really dominate the marketing news cycle by continuously giving day and date first party games into the service. And it will be very hard unless for PlayStation specifically to be able to compete unless they start putting their first party games into PS Plus. And I hope that's what happens, because that just means this is competition pushing to make these services better and give gamers more content and just give more access to everything. So it's pretty crazy taking a look at this first party studios organization. Okay, so Lulu, there's a lot of reactions here. Phil Spencer says this: today is a good day to play. We officially welcome Activision Blizzard King to Team Xbox. Together we'll create stories and experiences that bring players together in a culture empowering everyone to do their best work and celebrate diverse perspective. He goes on here and says, to the millions of fans who love Activision Blizzard King games, we know that you are the heart and soul of these franchises, and we're honored to have you as a part of our community. Whether you play on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, or mobile, you're always welcome here, even if Xbox isn't where you play your favorite franchise, because when everyone plays, we all win. I mean, this is directly from the Xbox Wire post, yes, because he wrote it, but puts it out here on Twitter. And again, he's emphasizing PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, mobile. Everyone is going to be playing these games from Activision Blizzard King. And if you're wondering, well, why don't they just keep them all exclusive? The answer to that is the industry has completely changed. That's not how you're going to continue to grow and be a leader in the industry, by locking games to a console. We've seen this with the numbers playing out with how expensive it is to make these major games. They have to get more people playing. They have to open the amount of access that people have so that they can continue to bring us $200 million plus development costing games that we're going to be able to play on a yearly basis. And with people playing on their phones, people playing on the other platforms, Xbox is going to be taking in so much money from just licensing these games out. We're going to continue to get an insane amount of content. Nadia Nadella weighs in. Again, just says, today is a great day for gamers everywhere. Together with Activision Blizzard, we will deliver on our vision to help people connect and play great games wherever, whenever, and however they want. We have Jason Schreier here, who actually apparently spoke to several Activision Blizzard employees, and they're all very excited for this deal to go through. This sounds like it'll be done by next week, if not today. I'm curious to see how Xbox handles operations moving forward, especially at Blizzard. And of course, these employees are going to be very excited. They're moving from an environment that seemingly was not very good to an environment that is, from what we've seen in all accounts, I mean, obviously Xbox, Microsoft, they have their issues. Every major company does, but based off of like best places to work and all of those things, Microsoft and Xbox seems like it is a great organization to work for right now, of course. And I mean, they have to continue with that going forward. So that's a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, it's over. Xbox now has Activision Blizzard King. They're a part of the Xbox first party studios. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 releasing soon is a first party Xbox game. And we now get to sit back and finally stop talking about whether the deal is going to go through or not, and start talking about how Xbox is going to handle these games, how they're going to distribute these games, and then celebrate when we're getting these games day one into Xbox Game Pass. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. Let me know all your thoughts about everything in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that thumbs up. If you're new here and you like what you see, I make daily videos, so hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next
We'll be right back.